Hi, everybody. I'm here with Craig Pasta Jardula from the Convo Couch, and we're talking about what happened with Ed Markey and Elon Musk. I don't know if you saw this, but Ed Markey was pissed off because someone with this new blue check thing that Elon Musk is doing, I don't even know what it's happening, by the way, with that. I think I still have my blue check. I don't know if it matters anymore. People are complaining a lot. Ed Markey's one of them. He said a Washington Post reporter was able to create a verified account impersonating me. I'm asking for answers from Elon Musk, who is putting profits over people and his debt over stopping disinformation. Twitter must explain how this happened and how to prevent it from happening again. That's from Ed Markey. He's a senator, right? So, hey, Ed, if you want to stop disinformation, you can start by stopping yourself from pushing Russiagate, you fuckface. How about that? So then, guess who comes in? Elon Musk comes in and says, perhaps it's because your real account sounds like a parody. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. He ratioed him too, like pretty hard, right? So that's pretty funny. I think that's funny. Then he also said, and why does your pee-pee have a mask? But he means his profile pic. Why does your profile pic have a mask? Okay. And so then Ed Markey comes back at Elon Musk and says, one of your companies is under an FTC consent decree. Auto safety watchdog NHTSA is investigating another for killing people. And you're spending your time picking fights online? Fix your company or Congress will.
Oh boy.
Okay. Do you really want your government threatening companies like this? Do you really want that? That doesn't seem appropriate to me. And Glenn Greenwald caught it too, because a lot of shit liberals on Twitter and social media were all for this, for a senator and the head of a committee threatening a head of a corporation. So revealing how many liberals and leftists are telling Musk he's stupid and reckless for speaking irreverently to a senator, especially one with power over his companies. These people are such effing authoritarians. You speak to Democratic senators with respect or else. Here's Elon Musk. So here's the people for Bernie Sanders. They are getting in on this. They're defending politicians. Again. So probably not a great idea to troll a high-ranking senator with a history of taking down rich people who just so happens to sit on multiple committees which regulate your businesses the day after his party retakes the chamber. That's from the people for Bernie. Maybe they do realize that they're authoritarian. Maybe they do realize that they're exact opposite of what a progressive would say. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Hey, we've come to the point where the primary effort to rein in corporate power comes from egging on corporate politicians in their personal vendettas against a handful of CEOs. That's how the people for Bernie want it to be done. We're going to rein in corporate power by getting powerful senators to unleash personal vendettas against CEOs of companies. By the way, according to the Boston Globe, the top donors to Ed Markey include a who's who of multinational media conglomerates. He's never needed to be an aggressive fundraiser. Why? Because over 20 years, he's been perched atop the powerful congressional committee that oversaw the multi-billion-dollar telecommunications industry. Boy, that Ed Markey sounds like a man of the people, doesn't he? So here's more people enjoying this. Elon Musk may want to do his homework before mouthing off to Ed Markey. So we're not supposed to mouth off to the powerful. We're supposed to watch what we say, or they're going to use government to fuck you. And people are okay with it. She's got a blue check and a PhD. This was not a wise move, to say the least. So they're all happy that a powerful government guy gets to have a personal vendetta if you mouth off to him. And this is fantastic. Everybody go into Musk's replies and start tweeting shitty memes making fun of Ed Markey. It'll push Musk to post himself into a subpoena. Wow. No one bootlicks like a bleeding heart, am I right? It took Elon Musk 19 hours to think up the big brain, why you wearing a mask internet avatar, and Ed Markey to respond professionally and on point in less than 45 minutes. Ed is going to roll this crybaby through the Science and Transportation Committee. Musk will need a blankie. You know, if they put Elon Musk in solitary, these people would be screaming torture works. Glenn Greenwald again says this has been the most overlooked part of the debate over big tech censorship from the start. This is not, as liberal censorship defenders claim, a case of private companies deciding to censor. They're doing it under explicit punishment threats from Democrats. And he links to his Substack about it. Congress escalates pressure on tech giants to censor more, threatening. So they're. And you want to see Ed Markey do that? Here's Ed Markey saying that the Silicon Valley better censor more. Watch.
Problem. The issue is not that the companies before us today are taking too many posts down. The issue is that they're leaving too many dangerous posts up. Problem. The issue is not that the companies before us today are taking too many posts down. The issue is that they're leaving too many dangerous posts up.
So, again, as usual, we're focusing on what people say instead of what they do. All the wrath in the world comes down on Elon and Kanye rather than on child sex abuse, revenge porn, warmongers, animal cruelty. I don't know, name it. The problem is not that the worst war criminals and corporate criminals who have killed millions ascend to power. No, the problem is Alex Jones and the family of those killed at Sandy Hook. And to get this trending, Jimmy Dore. That's how they get it trending. So Glenn's 100% right. This is about censorship. This is about Elon Musk might not censor as much as they did before. Believe me, Elon Musk is going to censor the important things. He might censor a little less around woke stuff, but he's in bed with the military-industrial complex. So Glenn says, it goes without saying that the senator using his power to punish private companies for mocking him, or worse, for refusing to obey his censorship orders, is a grave and dangerous abuse of power. That so many left liberals cheer this on tells you who they are and how they think. Mm-hmm. By the way, did you know Ed Markey's original 1976 campaign slogan was "Nobody, they may tell me where to sit, but nobody tells me where to stand." I guess they're telling him where to stand now. A classic hallmark of fascism is uniting corporate and state power to control the population, particularly by dictating what they can and can't say. This is exactly what the Democrats have been doing with the internet. As the very people claiming to be anti-fascism that's their cheer. We're anti-fascism, yet they're instituting fascism to fight what they call its fascism. And watch this, by the way. This is an interview with they're going to ask how often does the FBI actually talk with social media people? Watch this.
Have any of you met with the FBI about misinformation? Again, I don't want any details about the case, about the country. Just when was the last time you had a conversation about something you saw? I'll start with Mr. Salgado.
These are routine conversations. I won't say that they're necessarily weekly, but it starts to approach the conversational cadence that we have.
These are routine. So big tech and the intelligence communities in America, they have routine meetings. I don't want to say weekly, but yeah, weekly. And they tell them who to censor, when to censor, how hard. And now we know this has been going on. They admit it. Here it is.
I'm fine to be open about this. There's nothing classified about it. They tend to be largely with the local field office out here in California. With sometimes they're ad hoc, and we also have a regular cadence of meetings.
This is called the banality of evil. Look at this guy. This guy's doing the evil. This guy, this Poindexter pencil neck, is the guy implementing fascism. It's called the banality of evil. It's just what we do. We get together and with the, just to make sure we're doing best practices on censoring people at the behest of government and corporations, which came together.
Mm-hmm. But it's actually rather routine at this point.
It's routine.
Thank you. Mr. Pickles?
Mr. Pickles?
Eric Swalwell was talking to himself, getting ready for some Fang fun. So.
Excuse me, Mr. Pickles. What do you have to say?
Just to echo that, our engagement with the FBI is incredibly regular, whether it be phone calls or emails. We have
incredibly regular
formal meetings as well on a monthly basis, but the dialogue is as needed. So actually, if the FBI has concerns about a specific tweet, specific issue, we'll have real-time dialogue. We're not going to wait for sort of meeting dates in the calendar.
We actually have a periodic monthly meeting with FBI and DHS and government partners that we all participate in. That is at a strategic level, so we can talk about the threats that we're seeing.
So Facebook, Twitter, and Google.
Yeah.
They're all having they're in bed with the government. So if you know anything about how this government works, corporations buy the politicians. They actually tell the politicians what to do. And so this is the definition of fascism. Craig, let me bring you in.
Well, the thing that's really just, mind-blowing to me is when Eric Swalwell, and that's who was asking those questions, that was Congressman Swalwell from California. It was very different and opposite than maybe like a Josh Hawley, Senator Hawley, or a Thomas Massey would ask when they're calling to catch, big tech going outside their boundaries. This was more about, I think, parading and showing, look what we're doing. The FBI is out there policing, and they're watching out for the domestic terrorists and the people who are just saying bad things online. So, because I often think about, okay, we understand that the Democratic Party or the establishment altogether is all bought, right? When it comes to the Democrats, our revolution, which was started as a progressive organization to fund grassroots candidates to go take on the establishment, has now been completely co-opted. And now our revolution in Orange County has endorsed all those establishment candidates like Jimmy Cardenas and Maxine Waters and everything. And we can understand that they're a bought entity by those corporations you just talked about. But what just amazes me and what Swalwell was doing is that it's the followers that condone this. It's the people. It's the people that we used to know in the grassroots movement, the progressives, that cheer this stuff on. And that's why guys like Swalwell can go to Congress and flex their big tech muscles and say, look what we're doing. We're working with Facebook and Google to keep the internet a safe space, to keep it a safe space. And that's what I got from those questions. It was almost the opposite of a Thomas Massey, almost like cornering them to admit that they're working with big tech where it's bad. In this case with Swalwell, it felt like it was good.
Yes, that is the. So let me show. So this Eric Swalwell has a Banksy portrait of a girl with balloons on the wall behind him. What a rebel! What a rebel! The only thing worse than the powerful shutting you down is being co-opted. Those of you suffering through shadow bans and blocks and being silenced, they will never know the pain of their acceptance. So,
have any of
it's real. We're living in that thing that Aldous Huxley and George Orwell warned us about. It's here. They're rewriting the past, and he who controls the present controls the past, controls the future. I don't know if that's the saying, but they're rewriting history, and they're all pro-censorship. Now, being against censorship used to be the hallmark of being a lefty, and now they've equated free speech with hate speech. So that's why they all hate Elon Musk, because they want you to get upset at Elon Musk for not censoring. Who's they? They are the politicians and the people who control the media. Who are they? They're being controlled by the billionaire oligarch class, and they want to keep censorship, not because you're going to hurt some minorities' feelings. They don't give a shit about that. They say that's why they want to keep censorship, to protect people's feelings, right? Hate speech. But the real reason is they want to be able to censor you when you say something true about war or the establishment or Wall Street or health or anything, or about the vaccines. They want to be able to censor you. And it's not about protecting you. It's about protecting the establishment, the oligarchy. The people who are always the victims of censorship are who? Minorities, when they actually want to speak out against the government. They're the ones who traditionally have been censored and silenced, discredited, and smeared. It's not the powerful. It's that, and so this idea that minorities need protection from hate speech on social media, so that's why we need to have censorship, is a red herring bullshit. What do you say about it, Craig?
Well, it's funny too, because it's not just us now. When I say us, I mean people inside the political bubble, the dissenting voices. It's now all about this kind of like cultural conditioning. Like the stuff they're like censoring now on TikTok has nothing to do even with politics anymore. They're going further. Anybody who has like an open mind that thinks for themselves is subjected, if they give an opinion that's outside of the parameters, is now subject to being censored. So it's at another stage right now, and it's only going to get worse. And it's not helping that a lot of these people, like you said, they're cheering this on. So there's dark times ahead when it comes to freedom of speech. And I don't want to hear this argument that it's a private company, because you see all these companies right here with Mr. Swalwell, they constantly go to Congress, and Congress tells them what to do, tells them how to behave. And most of the times they do what Markey said. They're pissed off that not enough stuff has been taken down. And that's where we're at right now. Dark, dangerous times.
If you're for this kind of censorship, and if you're for a politician bullying a citizen who didn't show the proper reverence for them, you don't know it, but you're a right-wing fascist. And now I know there's a lot of people who are right-wingers who say, no, right-wingers are for censorship. And isn't that crazy how that has shifted? I've seen comedians in comedy clubs saying, if you're into free speech, I don't know if you're a right-winger and you're into free speech. That's supposed to be a left-wing thing, and they've tricked you.
Yeah.
The oligarchy has tricked you into thinking freedom of speech is some kind of right-wing crazy idea. No, it's an American idea. It's what our country's built on. It's a lefty idea. And the establishment always who do they want to censor? They don't want to censor the powerful. They want to censor the powerless for speaking up to the powerful. And they want to make you think that censorship protects the powerless. It does the exact opposite. It takes the power away, the power of their speech, the power of their tongue. It takes it away from the powerless. And that's why they're for it. And of course, they mask it in identity politics. Like, oh, we're trying to help trans people and gay people and black and brown. And we're trying to save them from hate speech. Okay, nobody needs the government to fucking police our speech. We already have the First Amendment. That's what Americans care about. If someone breaks the First Amendment, then that's all you need to know about. I don't need the government to protect people's feelings or to tell me what's real and what's not in the news. And I certainly don't need an oligarch big tech guy to tell me what's fake and what's real, because they're all liars. That's why. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to our next story. Craig, can you stick around? Or you got to go.
I got to run.
Okay.
Sorry,
everybody check out Craig Pasta. He is the host of AM Wake Up and the Convo Couch. Check those shows out. Craig, thanks so much for making time for us, and thanks for your insight into FTX.
Jimmy, thanks for having me on. Thank you, Steph. Have a great night.
We'll see you November 19th and 20th in Austin, Texas. November 26th, that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, in Burbank. And then all December, we're going to be in Los Angeles doing Friday night shows. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member. While you're there, you get all of our videos unedited. jimmydore.com, not Jimmy Dore Comedy.